Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cyberslay talk show. Last two episodes were really amazing. I had a opportunity to talk with Karthik and Divya, and now today we have Ram Kumar with us. So, thank you so much for joining us. We welcome you today's episode, and we are really honored to have you with us, Dr. Ram Kumar, a highly accomplished cybersecurity and a risk leader, and your impressive background with extensive experiences in governance, risk, and management, and the cybersecurity was really incredible. And you are also a LinkedIn top voice in GRC, and he is well respected for his insights and leadership in this field. So we will dive into his remarkable journey and gain a lot of experience in the industry insights.
Yeah. Thank you, Pooja, for having me here. It's my honor to be featured on this show, Cyberslay. I'm looking forward to having a great conversation.
Yeah. So I have been actually saw the whole journey of you. Like, what exactly your first job in cybersecurity field? How did you shape your career in cybersecurity field?
Yeah, my first job was post my MCA. I landed at a job with the US based ISP at Hyderabad. And it's my fortune that cybersecurity came to me. I didn't run behind it. So my very first job, they assigned me to the security and abuse department, and that's where my I cut my teeth into cybersecurity. So I learned the
Okay.
ropes, and it was a great experience. I lasted in the job for about 1.5 years, but the experience gave me enough stuff for me to write a book on cyber crimes. So way back in 2005, I wrote a book on cyber crimes, a kind of a primer for lay persons, and it was published by a Delhi-based book publisher. And it went on to
Okay.
become a good success, right? So my initial grounding in cybersecurity happened with that company, US-based ISP. Then from then on, I widened my horizon, a lot of learning, upskilling. You know pretty well how in cybersecurity a degree or a certification is not enough. It's ongoing. Even now,
Yes, that's
after
true.
being in the industry for so long, it's been a learning journey. Even now, I consider myself as a student. There are so many things to learn, right? So from then on, I built my career one after the other. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, in the last over years, like you are into cybersecurity, do you really describe any mentor or in any person that who have impacted to your journey?
Yeah, it's my fortune again. Almost all my reporting managers are icons in the industry, and all the companies that I worked are on the top three categories in their respective industry sectors they operate in. So a lot of learnings. If I have to, pick out specific names, I would go with again. These are individuals. They are going beyond cyber. So I've seen a lot of technical leaders that is really good and admirable. But what impressed me most was the people who came from the business side and they managed a security function very seamlessly. So one name I would say is Mr. Biren Ghosh. I reported to him when I was working in Technicolor India, and currently he's the managing director Asia Pacific for Technicolor. So amazing leader, a lot of learnings about leadership style, decision making, how do you manage programs, and individual traits, how you develop as a leader. So all these things were very impressive for me. It was on the job training for me because I was working closely with him on managing both information security and corporate security in my stint with that company. Another leader was Commander Victor Joseph. He was managing director for South region in Group 4 Security Corps. Very unusual company for a cybersecurity professional to pursue career because they were at that point in time very keen to set up a cybersecurity division, and I was hired as a first employee. And a lot of learnings. Me coming from the Indian Navy background, again, their thought process, their way of quickly making decisions and sticking to it, and handling people, handling budgets, even the way they conduct meetings. It's all amazing. And Of course, today's times are very different, but in those days, I was pretty young. I was in my mid 20s, and it was very impressionable for me when I looked at those leaders. And of course, they are the benchmark for me today. So those two are the key
Yeah.
leaders I always call out.
Yeah, always like having a great leaders can help us to shape the career in cybersecurity. And for me also, I've been learning from Shivani Sharma, who's the founder of Leap Technologies. She's the
Awesome.
inspiration for me to joining for cybersecurity. So it is always
Awesome.
great actually.
Yeah,
And in
yeah,
your experience, I think 20 plus years experience you are into cybersecurity, right? And how
yeah.
do you you worked with a different organization as well, and I would not mention few of the companies, but those companies and organization have prepared you for your current role. So how exactly was that experience for you?
Yeah, my career was pretty unusual. If you look at my career journey, I was very careful not to get stereotyped into a specific industry sector. It was a very conscious and deliberate decision. So moved across industries. I started with ISP, went to security services, and I moved on to uh, IT outsourcing, then kind of a product company which was a startup, then moved to media entertainment in BFSI, right? I was working for an investment bank, global investment bank. Then went on to healthcare, and the last few years I've been in automotive. So my skills in cybersecurity and related domains like cyber resilience and data privacy. So all of those are transferable across industries. I didn't want to stick on with one particular industry. So when you work in multiple domains, industry verticals,
Yeah.
you also hone your skills as per the requirements of the industry. With a complete view of what are the nuances of working in such industries to meet the security requirements, be it due to frameworks or regulations, or your own IP that you want to protect for the company you work for. So different
Yes.
management styles, different working cultures, different dynamics in those companies. All those things prepared me for taking on challenges. Today, it gave me that confidence that I can take up any sort of assignment. So all those formative years are prepping me for bigger challenges.
Okay. uh, what has been the most unexpected lessons you have learned in this career? There must be something for sure.
Okay. Again, I would always say that take risks. Without taking risk, you'll go nowhere. Because in my career, I mean, I kind of very quickly grew in my career. That came to bite back later because I was full of ambition when I was pretty young. I was in tearing hurry to get out of the pile and make a difference, right? So want to
Mhm.
become quickly manager, quickly leader. So it happened. So I was taking risks. So I had an offer from a very large financial services company, US brand, and they were offering me a antivirus administrator role way back in 2006. And whereas this company G4S offered me a project managerial role. So less than 3 4 years in my career, I got a managerial role, and they were giving me a lot of responsibilities. So I was a little bit worried how it would work out. On the one side, the role is really really challenging. The other side, the brand of the US financial services is big draw. So I had to check with my seniors and my industry peers. But most of them said I will stick with the technical role which the US financial services is offering. That's better. But there was one guy who was an entrepreneur, who was an ex Big Four audit firm, guy, and he gave me a very different perspective. So he said, Ram, somebody is investing in you, trusting in you, and asking you to become the subsidiary business unit they are starting, and they want you to be their first project manager, and they are giving you a huge responsibility. And this is not something it will happen at every professional's career so early. So better go for the uncharted, unusual path, and it's a risk though, but it's worth it. Whether you succeed or fail, it doesn't matter, but you
Yeah.
try that experience, because anytime you can take up any technical role. I mean, I'm not demeaning anything, I'm not downplaying, but point is, his advice resonated very well with me, and I thought I should do that. And after thinking long and hard, then it aligned, and I took the brave decision to quit and move on to this unusual role. And that paid off in
Yeah.
a big time, right? Because the
Yeah.
learnings that I had at such early stage in my career really, really helped me for taking up higher responsibilities down the line.
Yeah, yeah. That's why, like, after having these experience, like these years of experience, and now the work which you are doing is really, for me, when I saw your profile on LinkedIn, I was like, ki, like, because very rare people you will get it to do such kind of work in cybersecurity.
Yes,
And I
yes.
know right now in this generation, not only cybersecurity is booming, along with that, we have artificial intelligence, we have a machine learning. So, how do you see these gonna be affecting or maybe impacting cybersecurity? What are your points into that?
See, AI, Gen AI came into mainstream in the end of 2022, I believe, yeah. And from
Yeah.
then on, a lot of buzzword, it's become the household name everywhere. Now, Gen AI is a double-edged sword, right? A lot of I mean, I always say it impacts security in a big way. One thing,
Mm.
let's all understand, AI for security and security of AI are two different things, right? And when it comes to the security implications, I can list it out or bucket them into three areas. One is the AI usage security. AI, if it is not used properly, the threats are primarily around your data loss, sensitive data loss. If people are not trained how to protect data, and you just go and upload sensitive data in any of the AI tools, that's pretty risky. Then you have the jailbreaking, where people do bypassing of the controls, right? That is again a problem. Then the second aspect is the AI application security, right? When you develop AI applications, they need to have a secure coding and secure architecture, so that
Yeah.
any prompt engineering injection attacks do not happen, so that the malicious actors cannot screw up your prompt engineering, right? And the other aspect is again the AI platform security. So today you have threats like data poisoning, model theft, right? All those things can be avoided. Plus you do have AI insider threats. So these are all the issues that are pretty much plaguing the use of AI. And again, AI has got very good use cases for cybersecurity in terms of anomaly detection, threat detection, incident response. Your playbooks on for each of the incidents can be automated, right? And today the threats are coming. Even the hacker groups are leveraging AI to launch attacks at mission scale and speed. And
Yeah.
for that, when you have a properly engineered AI powered tool that can help. Today market is replete with hundreds of tools, each of them claiming to be AI powered. But question is, are they really AI powered, or just they have some bots installed and they camouflage or market it as AI powered? So even the security staff needs to upgrade their skills to evaluate these tools whether they are really AI driven, and accordingly implement them, right? So it's the
Yeah.
AI that creates a double-edged sword, works both ways.
Yeah. Even if you see, there's nothing that people can't hack it actually. Any application, you take it AI or
Exactly.
anything. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is a kind of challenging for cybersecurity people also to understand, to
yeah.
learn a new vulnerability whenever it got hacked
True,
for any kind of tools.
true,
So
true,
that's how.
true.
So in your career, like how do you think, what is the biggest misconception that you heard about cybersecurity that you encountered?
See, many people see. I do in my spare time as a way to give back to my community, and
Yeah.
I mentor a lot of young students, working professionals who want to
Yes.
transition into cybersecurity. So the major misconception they all have is cybersecurity starts and ends with pen testing and ethical hacking. There's a whole world beyond these two. So there are people who make a big career out of being coming from non-technical domains as well, right? So my point is cybersecurity is a very vast field. There are multiple domains. It can go from application security, enterprise risk management, security operations center, SOC. Then you have security architecture, security engineering. Then you have GRC, IoT security, OT security, cloud security. Whole 9 yards it can go, right? I mean, there are multiple
Yeah, yeah,
domains within threat intel, and each of these domains can give you a lifelong career if you choose to specialize, right? So that's where the misconception is. People think, okay, I do an ethical hacking course, I can do some pen testing, and I'm cybersecurity. That's where cybersecurity is all about. That is only one aspect. Of course, it's an important domain. Not downplaying that, but there is a much bigger world awaits beyond pen testing and ethical hacking, right? Yeah.
yeah. Even if you see in the market, a lot of people not aware of GRC also. When you talk about
True.
the compliance, very less people know about. Okay, there is a GRC process also there in cybersecurity. I think that is something
Yeah.
challenging to explain about it. And I'll just
Yeah.
talk about
Actually,
the yeah,
I wanted
please.
to interject. That you brought up the topic of GRC. I always
Yeah,
say I read it somewhere. Very interesting article I read sometime back in LinkedIn. GRC is like how they describe it. Cybersecurity without GRC is like a hobby, right?
yes,
Cybersecurity without GRC is like a hobby, because without direction and guidance and purpose, cybersecurity will not go anywhere. And the direction, guidance, purpose is given by GRC function. Reason is no company has unlimited budget for cybersecurity. Everyone has limited resources, and we have to make do with much less. And in recession
yeah,
times is all the more worse, right? So the point is, I given a analogy of a car. Okay, suppose you give a car and ask the driver to drive. The driver is driving all day long with no destination in mind, and by end of the day the car goes, the driver goes nowhere, nowhere in particular, and he gets tired. Fatigue is there, and the car tires and the fuel, I mean, car tires are depreciated and the fuel gets exhausted. So if I use the same analogy for GRC, think of your car as your security program, right? Your
yeah,
driver as your subject matter expert, right? That's nothing but your security staff. Then your fuel and tires as your resources and budget. Okay,
yes,
so with the right resources and budget, with the rightly skilled security staff, and a proper destination set in the GPS, GRC can act as a correct GPS, which is configured properly, and it can take you, point you correctly where you need to invest your organization resources, efforts, money,
exactly.
time, all of this to achieve your organization goals. End of the day,
Yeah, yeah,
security function exists for supporting the business, right? So it
yes,
cannot act
yes,
independently. Otherwise, it will be at cross purposes and it's not going to help the organization. So that's where GRC as a domain comes into play, where it helps the organization get a handle on where to go, where to invest, especially risk-based decision making for addressing their security requirements. and apply the correct controls, test the controls, and see it is optimized at all the times, and foresee the risks and take proactive actions.
Yes.
And of course, stay compliant with the regulations or frameworks or your own internal policies, or if you have contractual obligations, you'll have to fulfill. So all these things you need a proper governance mechanism. So all these governance, managing risks, and staying compliant is managed by the GRC function. I thought I would
Yes.
spend about a couple of minutes to explain this, because many companies, especially in the non-regulated legacy organizations, do not understand importance of GRC, and
Exactly.
because leaving it to the techies, we are all techies at heart, right? We love
Hmm.
to play with our technology tools, whatever catches our fancy, whatever is popular in the market today. AI tools are very popular. Everyone wants to show off, I am using this tool. But what is the purpose? Is it making sense for the company? What is the business case? What is the value add? The spending money on fancy tools is becomes a hobby without a proper GRC, right? Unless you
Yes,
have a strong
exactly.
business case and value add, you will not be investing in such tools, right? That's
Yes.
my two
Yes.
cents on the criticality of GRC function.
Yes. Yeah, even
Yeah.
I love to talk about GRC part because in my experience also I have been always heard about ethical hacking, VAPT, SOC. There's not much people aware of the GRC part. So maybe like next
Yeah.
time we'll definitely plan something on the GRC
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
let
We
people
should.
know aware of that also. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
just come to the organization side because there's no organization are to be safe these days. So how do you think these companies can better prepare for emerging cyber threats?
See, given that in today's evolving threat scenario, there will definitely be a cyber incident. It could be disruptive. It could lead to downtime. It could lead to data breaches. So that's the assumption all companies today work. I mean, the progressive, mature companies. Now, how do you stay resilient in the face of these disruptions, and what is the efforts that you put in to make your organization deliveries resilient with the minimal downtime, and how quickly you can bounce back to BAU mode, business as usual mode? There lies the key, right? So
Yeah,
cyber threats, you need to plan well for the bad days, and have your playbooks, runbooks rehearsed very well. Rehearsals would include even basics like a review of your response plans, to tabletop exercise where you envision different scenarios and play out with all the relevant stakeholders. Then you do the testing, functional testing. If you cannot do a full scale testing, at least do a partial shutdown testing, right? And all these things would give you confidence, and also make you know where your weaknesses are, which are the areas where you may have to work upon. And again, this comes from your RTO and RPO that you define, right, as per customer SLAs or your own internal requirements, right? So cyber resilience is very, very important, building that capability, and it should have the right mix of tools, processes, and people with the right skills who are well trained.
yeah,
So we always say, na, and there is a saying that the more you sweat in practice, the less you bleed in war. So on the day of a cyber attack, it's very important how you are responding, how quickly and how smartly you are able to handle the situation. On the day of
yeah,
cyber attack, if you are figuring out what to do, then it is going to be really be a big disaster. So be prepared
exactly.
and work towards minimizing the disruption.
Yeah, even there's a lot of things. Even the cyber attack happened to the organization, but I specifically wanted to go to ethical hacking side. So, what role does ethical hacking play in strengthening the organization and cybersecurity measure? What are your points onto that?
Yeah, so when you do ethical hacking, primarily you are doing testing from the inside, right? You are testing
Yes,
whether your network or application is how
application.
secure it is, where are all the loopholes. You look at it from a external point of view of a hacker, but without any malicious intention. You do not do anything malicious that will impact the infra or the application. So that way, it is very good to know where our strengths and weaknesses are, from a
Mm-hmm.
view from a, hacker's perspective, but in an ethical way, so that you can apply the remediations, and be more secure. So ethical hacking is
Yeah.
pretty important from that perspective.
Yeah, even when you talk about cybersecurity, people have to aware there's a three domains are there: offensive, defensive, and the GRC. So when they're choosing a career and all, because I'm now switching to career part where I really want you to talk about helping people who wanted to start their career. It will be helpful for people to understand, or maybe people who are already working can able to upskill themselves into cybersecurity. So I'll go through the part of the compliance side. Like, how do you see the compliance can be helpful in the cybersecurity side, or I can say how which audience or which skill people you suggest to go with the compliance career.
See, anyone can choose whichever domain they are interested in, but my only plea is don't get so besotted or enamored with one area and you get stuck there, because
Yeah,
you start your career, they say, no, your career is like the letter T, alphabet T, right? So when you are starting your career, it will be, you will have to build that mile deep expertise, and you'll have an inch wide exposure, right?
yeah,
But as you grow higher in your career, it will become the opposite. You'll have you become a
yes,
generalist. From a specialist role, you become a generalist. Then only you can get on to become a techno manager and a techno functional leader. Then aim to be the CISO of the organization. So this is for folks who are very, very ambitious and want to climb their corporate career ladder, right? So point is, when you grow in your career, the T shape, it will become less technical. Nothing wrong about it, because you can't be hands on all the time. Only when you are ready to leave certain things, your familiar comfort zone, you will go and find new shores, right? uh,
yeah,
that's what they say. When you have the courage to lose sights of the land, you can go
yeah,
and see, go to the deep sea and find out newer places. So then, when you grow in your career, it will become like a mild, wide exposure and an inch deep expertise. That's what will happen. But there are exceptions. There are people who are very senior leaders, and still they have passion to work on technology. Of
yeah,
course, they are exceptional folks. But generally, techies, when they are pushed to managerial role, they are very uncomfortable. But eventually, if you want to grow in your career, you have to get out of the comfort zone and pick up new skills. Now, coming to, GRC, of course, you need to have strong grounding in at least in one technical domain, whether it is network security or
yeah,
application security or SOC or VAPT or security architecture, cloud security, whatever it is, you pick up at least one area. From there, you
yeah,
can build. You can come through risk management side. You can come through audit side, security audits, right? Or you pick up, you if you have chance to work in third party risk management, or you have a chance to work in with the GRC team, right, managing all the governance functions, how you handle auditors, external auditors by external regulators or your own clients, or statutory auditors. So all these things will give you a grounding into what happens in GRC function, and with the technical expertise they have in whatever the domain, they can easily pick up stuff. All you need to have is an open mind and willingness to
yeah,
learn. If you are very comfortable, because I've seen in my career many folks, they love being in SOC. I'm giving an example, okay, and they don't want to move out of it. Now, who will pay 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs for a person who specializes only in SOC? Beyond a point,
yes,
maybe a larger multinational can afford to pay, but again, they cannot keep them for long in that job, because
long, yes,
you need to step up and move ahead. If you are very
yes,
comfortable stating that is my That is my core domain expertise. I don't want to move out. It's actually yourself or shooting yourself in the leg. So be open
Yeah.
minded and reinvent with the times. Today,
Yes.
you need to have AI skills. You need to understand AI risks, right? So when
Mm.
everyone is
Yeah.
talking about AI as a security practitioner, you should also understand clearly what are the risks and give advisory to people to use AI cautiously. What are the restrictions you need to have? The best practices you need to follow, right? So I'm just giving an
Yeah.
example how the latest
Yes.
trend, you need to keep up with the times and change accordingly,
Yes.
right? So that's
Yeah.
my take on this.
Yeah, even when you talk about SOC, there's a incident response is there, threat intelligence is there. There's a lot
Yes.
of things
Yeah.
that there. Even people don't want to really switch from there, and they expect company to pay them much higher than the
They
pay
will
also.
say,
So I think that's the point.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And I think you also aware of the certification part. Like people always think that if I have certification, I will get the job in cybersecurity. So what is your points onto that? I really want this people to know actually.
When you are young and you're trying to build your career, certifications will help you, but you have to be focused. Don't do any certification that comes your way, and never do
Yeah.
certification just for the sake of certification. Certification is there to help you to gain knowledge and skills in a very structured way, get yourself validated and benchmark with your peers. And of course today, when you apply for jobs, today, all the application tracking systems have keywords configured. They look for
Yeah.
keywords, and you have those keywords, then your chances of your resume getting shortlisted is better. So,
Yeah.
and of course, in the interview, also the hiring manager, moment he or she looks at your CV and says, "Okay, candidate has got these certifications," they have some expectations and confidence in the candidate.
Yeah, yeah,
No, that is one part. The other part is seasoned as hiring managers. They don't really care about certifications. Do you have
yes,
hands-on skills? That matters the most,
exactly.
right? There are
Yes,
people who can have
yes,
all the fancy certifications, but if they cannot perform on the job, then that is a disaster. So my
yes,
take is, when you're young in your career, you want to be competitive, do all the certifications to gain knowledge and demonstrate your knowledge and skills with the relevant experience, and be structured in what you learn. Today you do something in IoT, tomorrow you do something in AI, the day after you do something in application security. You go all over the place. You're not being consistent and focused and getting specialization in one area. You are like a jack of
yeah,
all. To build in one
yes,
area much, then you move. That way
yes,
you will broaden your horizon, and you will have some amount of expertise and mastery you will build in before you move to other areas. Now that is my only
exactly.
plea to people. And don't be a certification junkie by doing everything that comes your way. And today, you all you need is to upskill is, you need the interest and passion, time, opportunity, resources, conducive environment, focus, dedication. These, if you have,
That is
you
true.
can do upskilling free of cost, and you don't have to spend money. But of course,
Yes,
everything has value. And again, don't fall for fancy certifications just because somebody is doing or the world is running behind. See if it is
yeah,
aligned with your goals, whether you really love that domain, really want to move into that area or acquire knowledge in that area, right? And in your company, there is a particular product, and for that product, they want you to certify, and they are asking you to certify. Please, by all means, go ahead and certify. End of the day, you are working
yeah,
for that employer, and you have to be aligned with their
exactly.
expectations. You cannot say, I'm very focused on IoT security. I will not do any certification on any other product. You cannot say, right? So I'm just giving an
Yes.
example.
Exactly. That's what actually I wanted to. There are a lot of things like people who have experience would say this. A lot of people will understand the value of having a hands-on experience into starting their career into cybersecurity. And do you any specific resources do you recommend for the people who wanted to start their career in cybersecurity?
Well, when you want to start your career in cybersecurity, um, please get your basics pretty strong. Start with, get some hands-on experience. If you're attending any training course, to pick up some hands-on skills. Whether you're training yourself as a SOC analyst or a VAPT analyst, right? Pick up skills, participate in hackathons, capture the flag events, all these contests. The more you pick
Yes.
up hands-on skills, it will actually give you that confidence, and you can demonstrate better during any interview, right? And
Yes.
importantly, back it up with at least one or two certification entry level ones, so that your
Hmm.
CV stands out, right? And
Yes.
please start networking with people, whether you are doing it online via LinkedIn or attend events. That's nothing better
Yes.
than attending events in person. You can become members of ISACA or ISC Square or any other body, and everyone
Yeah.
organizes monthly events. Please participate, meet with different folks. You never know who could give you the next big opportunity. And
Exactly.
you should be known, and you should know the key people. The key people should know you, that here is this guy or this girl who is very keen about getting into cyber, and they could give you an opportunity. So always
Yes.
make use of opportunities to learn. Learning doesn't mean you read a book or you go through a training session or a formal certification. Learning can be passive also. So if you follow some good thought leaders, right, in Twitter, or what call as X, right, or you can read some blogs by these thought leaders. That situational awareness is very important, right? Knowing
Yes.
what is the latest malware campaign going on, right? What is the latest thing happening in the security world, latest cyber attack. So all these
Yeah.
things would actually give you that contextual awareness, and you will be up to date with what's happening in the industry. The point is, can
Yes.
you have a 5 minute conversation on your area of expertise to any stranger? Suppose a leader
Hmm.
comes up to somebody who is fairly senior to you. You meet up in a conference, and they ask you, or they are just chatting about some technical point. Can you interject and add value to that conversation? Or that's more important. For all of that, you need to have a proactive mind in learning what's going on in the industry, right? So that will give you a lot of edge.
Yeah, the continuous learning is always the key to, to understand more about cybersecurity. Yeah, even there is a lot of thing actually people can learn, but there is a way to learn for that also. I think I had a very good conversations with you on these all things and understanding your journey also in cybersecurity. Hopefully for the GRC part, I would really love to have one more session maybe in the coming time because
Sure.
um, how much we provide or a schedule or give a awareness about the job opportunities or maybe securing ourselves from the scams and all that much is gonna helpful for the people. We live in the city, like big city. We know we are aware of these scams, but those people who are in the village and they're not aware of what scams also. So maybe by doing this, it's definitely gonna help a lot of people. And last,
Yeah.
I really wanted to ask you, like, any additional advice would you like to give to our audience or to the people about pursuing their career? It will be helpful for a lot of people, actually. Yeah.
Do people really like advice? I've heard the word advice. The moment you say advice, they get put off. Okay, here are my things. One is be open-minded to learn and upskill. Again, as I said before, cybersecurity is not a domain that you once you complete your degree or formal education, you are going to say, I'm not going to open a book again. You have to keep learning. So lifelong learning is very important. Being open-minded and trying out different areas is very critical. The second thing is taking risks. Without taking risks,
Yes.
you not go anywhere, right? And third thing is you have to reinvent with the times, right? Again, all three
Yes.
are very closely interconnected, right? Unless you
Yes.
reinvent
Yes.
the times, you will not be relevant at all. So
Yes.
whether you want to be thriving or you want to just survive, it's in your hands. And today you need to the conventional retirement age of 58, 60 is gone, right? Nobody lasts in
Yeah.
IT industry that long. If somebody is doing well beyond 47, 48 years in IT sector, I'm talking about the tech companies, means they are extremely smart. Either they are in the management or grade, or they have some hard to find skills. Otherwise, most of them by 45, 46, they are pushed out. They become
Yeah.
entrepreneurs or they become freelancers, right? Or people like me who can't even sell a pen. So I mean, I did my doctorate mainly, for the love for contributing to the knowledge, existing body of knowledge, research, and of course have a career continuity plan, like business continuity plan. It's a career continuity. Probably I'll go and join some private university or a B school and go and teach. So point is always think through where you want
Yep.
to be. And in the coming time, we have to compete with AI as well. So already thought leaders are talking about how, I mean, it's pretty alarming though. We don't know whether it's going to happen or not. They're saying programmers won't be needed in few years' time because AI will do all the job. So it's very scary. So you have to compete not with the next generation, younger kids, but also with
Yeah.
AI missions. So that's where
Yes.
cybersecurity as a domain is very exciting. Well, with whatever
Yeah.
new technology, you definitely need security to protect the technology as a whole and the data it processes. But you have to keep these three things in mind and do well in your career. So that's my
Yeah.
3 cents on this.
Yeah, see, actually, giving advice is our work. Whether you take it or not, it's up to you. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
really
that's
happy, actually. Yeah, I'm really
yeah,
happy that there are very less people like you who really wanted to give back to the community. Because not everybody is interested to do something different in their career. So I'm
yeah.
really happy, and even we had a really good conversation about your understanding your journey. Thank you once again for joining us, and I hope maybe something comes up in the future. Maybe we might have some session for sure. And we really appreciated your advices and your knowledge that you imparted today. And thank you once again for being with us and contributing to our audience and a growth and understanding of the cybersecurity field. So thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
and have a really good, yeah.
Thank you, Pooja, for having me here and having a very good conversation. It was a very good
Yeah.
platform for me to share my views and thoughts, and much
Yes.
appreciate you for
Yeah.
inviting me here again. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Then see you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.